Hey everybody, hope you're having a fantastic time. It is New Year's Eve and I'm out here living the good life. And, if you hear the phone going off, my apologies. There's people trying to get me to go outside and do what they think is fun, but little do they know we're a step ahead of them. So, just took a look at this brand new little 3/8 drive ratchet. I've had the extended reach since about May or 7 or 8 months, depending on when you see this thing. And it has served me well. Obviously, decided to go with this route. I've invested into the Hercules line. I was using Ridgid. Again, I have my own opinions of Milwaukee and DeWalt based on their corded tools. I kind of like to do things different, try things out, and went with the Hercules route, and so far, no complaints. Also, another deal, I had a real bad experience with something I bought from Ridgid, and Ridgid just will never make a ratchet, so I had to do something to get the ratchet. I decided to go this route. And it just sort of snowballs as I'm happy with what I have. So I don't jump in all at once. You sort of tread lightly into the shallow end, and then you run around and go off the diving board. So that's kind of the point we're to now. But where these are the Hercules 12-volt line, what we're about to look at is 20-volt. And it's not this, because this is a little impact that we've had for quite a while too. Zero issues with this guy. But this one's going to be probably a little bit more useful for me. So what we have, let's just jump right into it. I will tell you, links are down below. They are there for your convenience and your convenience alone, and make nothing off of it. Obviously, if you go to Harbor Freight from a YouTube page on my channel, I don't get anything. It's literally just there so you can save yourself the trouble of looking for this. What this is, this, when I got it, was like brand new. I ordered this thing immediately. As fate would have it, I got this thing at the perfect time, literally the perfect time. On the Challenger, the the tires were basically gone. There was no tread, and there was steel belts on 2 or 3 of the tires, right? Both fronts for sure. And ultimately, I was at a point I had to get tires. My Mickey Thompsons had finally come in, and I finally, I was like, you know, I don't know that I'm going to make it to work if I, like, don't get these tires mounted, you know. And so I was like, look, I know we're busy. I'm going to be there. Just bear with me. I'm going to have to get these mounted. So, through, obviously, I'm real particular. I'm one of those weird people. I'm like the ones that would go in and ask discount for like their best tech type of a deal, you know. But I do the work myself, so I pull the tires off and then I drive them there, right? Minimize the number of things that can go wrong. And when I got back, I could do 2 tires at a time. And so when I got back, FedEx had been here. And I had quite a big order from Harbor Freight that day. If you follow me on Instagram, I think I posted this about what great timing it was. Got home with the rear tires that I needed to put on so I could jack the front of the car up and take those off. Boom! This was on the driveway. Thrilled. I used it immediately. I think I've used it one other time, but I also make videos, so I have to keep the box and put it back and try to make it, you know, look as good as it can so it doesn't give you a negative impression. So I have used this. I was very happy with it. What were we doing? We were removing and installing lug nuts. I will not lie to you. I'm not one of those people that just keeps my finger on the gun. I spin it down, you know, till it's tight, and then I torque things, especially lug nuts. So what do I torque them to? 110 foot-pounds. So if you're curious, that's what this removed for me. And then it spun them down, and I just basically hand check everything. So this is important, though. I was sitting over here and I'm like, yeah, it's brushless. And I was sitting here and I'm like, wait, I don't think that is brushless. And it's not, but this is brushless. So much of what I've bought recently from Hercules has been brushless. I just sort of applied that. And then when I was looking at this box, I'm like, where's that big holographic sticker? You know? So this one truly is brushless. I liked this so well, and now that I've actually got the 3/8 impacts, I'm probably going to wait for a sale because I'm cheap, or thrifty. Thrifty is the better adjective, is it not? When the 3/8 version of this is on sale, I'm probably going to snag it. So right here you get 3-mode drive control. So where the ratchets save variable speed, and it basically means how much pressure you apply to the trigger. That is not the case with this. You literally have a dial 1, 2, and 3 where you can adjust. Unlike the Ratchet, which, since I've got the box here, 40 foot-pounds max torque, You ratchet that up just a little bit, right? Over 10 times, over more than that, 11 times, more than that, 12 times, more than that, 13 times, over 13 times the torque. 555 foot-pounds of breakaway torque. Again, anytime you watch the videos and people get these and they only seem to use them on lug nuts, it's going to cover it. So there you go. Again, it is brushless. It's also 20 volt. That's certainly what I would prefer for an impact. Half-inch compact. This is also compact. That's important. If you can't tell, the box is tiny. And it's a brushless motor. Should give you 45% more runtime. Part number down here, HCCB84B. Pretty much everything Hercules is tool only. We're going to go ahead and spin this guy around to the backside. That was not me. That was something Harbor Freight must have done. I don't even think I looked at this when I opened it. So, powerful 3-speed brushless motor provides 33% more torque, up to 45% more runtime, and more durability than brushed motors. There's one of those texts I told you might come in. So, let's see here. Bright LED provides superior work visibility. 6-inch length is over 32% more compact to fit in tight spaces. Lightweight, weighing in at only 2.7. That is pretty light. To give you an idea, the short standard ratchet, like 1.8. This long neck, 2.5. So this is barely heavier than that. Just a couple of ounces. Variable speed trigger, they seem to like that description, allows for control and precision on delicate work surfaces. All metal gear construction built to withstand job site abuse. You definitely want to see that over plastic. 3-speed power selector button for a precise fastening control in a wide range of applications. Hercules 20-volt lithium-ion battery delivers more work per charge and more charges over the life of the battery. Now, this is what many of you are going to want to see, and we're going to just zoom in on it for you. Breakaway torque as advertised on the front panel of the box packaging. 555 foot-pounds, easy to remember. Max fastening torque, 322 foot-pounds. That's kind of confusing to people because you would think it would be the same thing. Basically what this is saying is if we torqued something, I'm not sure what it would be, in half-inch drive to 555 foot-pounds, this should break it away. If you took that same nut, that same bolt, whatever it may be, and fastened it back, this should top out at 322 foot-pounds. So I'm not concerned with that. Even at work, you know, like I use torque wrenches a lot. I don't go that high, okay? I'm not gonna lie. So this is gonna do what I want it to do, and that's what I care about. So everything on top of that is just bragging rights and a bonus. Speed. You basically are going to have 3 of these, again, based on 1, 2, and 3. That's gonna be your drive selector mode. So in the low setting, you're gonna have 0 to 1,000 RPMs. Blows per minute, right below that, you're going to have 0 to 1,300 blows per minute. Again, if you don't know how an impact works, it essentially hammers things. That's why chrome moly is a desired socket material, right? It's a little softer, it's not as likely to shatter on you if it was a harder, more brittle metal, right? So 1,000 RPM, 1,300 blows per minute. Your second or medium mid-tier setting, 0 to 1,700 RPM. So basically 700 plus RPM. And then you're going from 1,300 blows per minute to 2,000. So plus 7 RPM, plus 700 blows per minute. Will that scale maintain itself? Let's find out. Not quite. It overachieves here. We go from 1,700 to 2,200 RPM on the top setting, so that's plus 500 RPM. So you would think, okay, it's going to be plus 500 blows per minute. Not quite. It's going to deliver you 2,400 blows per minute. So basically, your speed's going to range from 1,000 to 2,400 RPM, and the blows per minute are going to range from 1,300 to 2,400. Again, your weight, 2.7, pretty much what you have with the extended reach ratchet if you have one, and overall length is 6 inches. Now, this is a cool little graphic here, and I think this is important. A lot of people, you know, like, oh, I need more power, you know, ugga dugga, and you just go max setting. You just put your foot to the floor on everything. Not always the best of ideas, right? So mode 1, you're gonna have this. Note how the fasteners graduate up, right? So if you've got like 1/4-20 stuff and a 7/16 socket on this bad boy, you don't need to be over here, right? And if you've got like, you know, 3/4 bolt here, you don't need to be in drive mode 1. That's not going to be optimal. So play around with it, be smart. When in doubt, dial it back, and then if you need more power, bump it up. Or you can just live on the ragged edge and destroy fasteners and replace them and ultimately lose time on your jobs. It's up to you. It kind of depends what you want to do. So here is the instructor manual, and you can see it comes with a belt clip. That means absolutely nothing to me. I'm not a belt clip person most of the time. Sometimes yes, most of the time no. This was probably in a bag if I had to think back, but true story, I've used this. There is the bag. I don't know if you can see it. Trust me, it's in there. It's not the end of the world. I've already disclosed to you that I had to use this because it just arrived at such a perfect time in my life. So here it is. Again, this is brushless, very, very compact. The Anvil itself, I think you can easily tell that it's been used. I'm not like lying to you about that. I was super stoked about it. And again, it hasn't been used much, so I want to clarify that as well. It's not super dirty either. Again, that's all I was doing. I keep the car pretty clean, so it wasn't anything crazy. There is your on and off, your forward and reverse, your front and back, your whatever you want to call it. Look how compact that is, though. That is pretty dadgum impressive, I must say. Weight, it feels really good in hand. If you're thinking like, hey, what's going on? I don't see like the click 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 for 1 2 3. What's the deal? They false advertise this, return it. It's actually down here above your battery panel. So basically 1 2 and 3, there is a button. Oops. I knew that was going to happen, but there is a button right there. You can kind of see it. And what you're going to do is 1, 2, and 3 for your drive modes. Obviously, that's not lighting up because we don't have a battery. And now, as I did with the Ratchet, I picked up a brand new battery. It is on the charger. In fact, just so you know, I don't make this stuff up. This is truly a never used battery, and it's on the charger. And it's a green light. I was planning to charge my cell phone, but I bought a USB, C cable, and spoiler alert, it was not what it was advertised. The good news is that's what almost all of my work lights use, so it's not a total loss. It's a really nice cable, Armstrong ones. But I kind of wanted like a cell phone cable out here, so that's why my phone's about dead. Now, just like I did that other one, I got this December of 2021, so we pin it on there. First time this will ever be powering anything up. Unlike the 12 volt, this is 20 volt, and unlike the 12's 2 amp hour, this is a 5 amp hour battery. That's why the tool has disappeared. It's up here. So it adds a good amount of weight, but I have to say, I mean, it feels good in hand. The main thing here, we've got it in forward, all right? We want to do 2 things. You want to pay attention, prepare to be blinded in 3, 2, 1, boom, right there, soft pressure. Light stays on. It's kind of a nice feature. Some people find it annoying, some people like it. It's staying on a lot longer than I thought it would. Let me point that away from you. And when will she go? Anytime now. That's actually okay. So really, really long time now. Thinking commonsensically, you're like, that's stupid. What a waste of battery and LED life. Well, think of you on the side of the road in the pitch black of the night, kind of like we've got coming in here, a cold front with rain and sleet flashing over and freezing. That's kind of a cool feature, because otherwise you'd be fumbling back to grab the switch and make it happen. So, in terms of the drive mode, I think we're just going to leave it here, and hopefully you can see it. Where are we now? Oh, okay. So you have to articulate the trigger. So now I was like, I remember doing this. So there's 1, there's 2, there's 3. It's exactly what I thought it was, but you need to have, I guess, the, communication there live. So this is 1, we're going to feather it. Now we're going to go full bore. It's about 1,000 RPM, right? We're going to come in right now to setting 2. Let me double check this. It'll be 1,700, which is about what I was thinking. Make sure that doesn't fall. You ready? We're going to feather it. And you should see this spin up 700 more RPM than it was. There's that. Again, a lot of time, first fire up, you're going to have that smell, especially brush stuff. This has been used, so we don't have anything going on there. Setting 3 right here, you can hopefully see. It's going to go all the way up to 2,200 RPM. She's moving some air. What I love about this, I always hear people complain like how loud these are, just battery-powered impacts in general. Do you not use pneumatic impacts? Like, that's loud. Okay, the noise they make when we contact is very loud. The noise an air ratchet makes when you're like in earshot of that, good grief almighty. So I'll leave it at that. Now, I brought over a couple of the Tektons I have here, which are, hey, I've actually got my work one too. So you know what? This is sort of deviating from what we were doing, but I'm going to do this because I don't know when I'll have this from work that I shouldn't have brought home with me on accident. So years ago, I bought these Tektons for work, and it was a complete set. I did shallow and deep, obviously 1/2-inch drive, and as you can see there, I just bleed all the time. That's paint actually, but the bottom line is, it's like a total different style now. So this is, like I said, several years back, and then here recently I picked up this set, and they're like absurdly shiny. They're chamfered, unlike the Capri ones. I've used the vast majority of that set, but if I come in, like this is a deep, so it's a better comparison. I just grabbed the 3/4. This is what I was talking about. Like, I thought I was getting a comprehensive set, and it like has skips, and then I don't like the hybrid type of a socket, but they've been okay. I've honestly used them probably a little bit more as a standard hand socket than actually, you know, on my pneumatic stuff, but that's only these two. You can see the clear color contrast in these, and then these have a way fatter sidewall on the old ones. These are just glossier. They're dual labeled. I don't know. I kind of prefer these, honestly. But I brought over my little short extension as well. I haven't had this very long, but she's seen some use. So why that's important for you is we need to actually put some sockets on this so you can get an idea. So let's come in, and we're going to feather over. No, that's right, we don't have a ball detent on this. So we'll strap it on, stick it down. That ring is a little tight, but here I've got my little extension, if you want to see that in motion. Runs very true, I have to say. I mean, there's very, very little play. Again, that's in part to the Anvil design changes. But let's just go full bore here, since I've got the one from work. We're going to stick it on, and boom, plug her in. You can easily see, I mean, I don't know that the camera always conveys what I see super well, but this is my new set that's like metric SAE combination with skips. This is my old work one. And this isn't just a deal where this one's seen so much use it's like not oiled and faded. It's like a total different finish out. But we're gonna ease in. That actually looks really good, I have to say. So what I want to do now for you is just drop down. We'll use this new shiny one that'll match it. My little 5/8/16 millimeters, since that's how they labeled them. So you ready? We're going to ease in. Boom. My camera battery, man, it's just not lasting like it used to. So the way things are held on here, we've got the little split collar ring there. So that should be, if it's something that pops off or snaps on you, should be able to replace it. It retains things really well. I'm going to come in here. My lone... True story, my lone Sunex tool is actually one of their sleeved impacts. I think it's like the 3/4 or 19. It's the purple one, you know, with the protective collar. Because the wheels on the Challenger are painted, all right? So I want to do everything I can to not have this rattle off. That's why I take them off myself, by the way. Everything I can do to mitigate damage. But that's what was on here. I can't remember what all else. I was really happy. I had a friend that needed something. I don't remember what it was, but I remember like, oh, I just got an impact. I'm going to take it. So I did. But again, hasn't been used a ton. But we'll go ahead now, and this is, again, the newer Tekton, if you will. Ease in. So yeah, obviously, if we had something that was crusted and rusted and we were breaking it free, we would be going to town. Let me try to get that in frame for you. So again, right at that point, that's where you have like your tension. I do want to highlight though, this is chamfered, the new Tekton. The old Tekton chamfered really well. That's, again, preferred by me. And then the Capris are just straight cut, so they're a little difficult to get on. I say that because, as I mentioned, this is 1/2" drive. I want to get the 3/8 one, but I would much rather have a chamfered socket, but that's just me. So have I used this much? No. Have I used it? Yes. Did it do what I needed it to do? Yes. Was it awesome having it? Yeah, it was. And that's about all I can tell you about this one, because again, for me to fully endorse this and say, go buy it, you're going to love it, I haven't had enough seat time with it, right? It's one of those rare things where a lot of times if something comes in, I will use it, or the video is not like pressing, and I'm like, well, I kind of want to use that, and then I'll actually make a video. In this case, this showed up like literally at the perfect time, right? The Challenger has 4 tires, shocking, I know, and so I come back with brand new 2 for the rear, boom, tighten them down, pull my jack out, go around to the front, jack it up, actually break the lug nuts free first, then jack it up. So this was super cool because of the timing on it, and I just could not pass that up. It's rare when the stars align for me, but when they do, I try to take advantage of it. So there we go. That is it. That is the Hercules brushless 1/2" drive impact. Again, I ordered this thing ASAP. I just lectured you on this and said, oh, if you rush out, you're going to pay a little extra. That's how Harbor Freight does things. Price will usually drop. I didn't care. I was like, you know what? This is sweet. I do think there was a sale, which was kind of weird. I don't remember if it coincided with like a coupon or something, but I think I got a little off of this, so that was a perk. But this was something that I wanted so bad, like knowing that the price might come down $20 if I wait 6 months. I was like, I don't care. I want to go ahead and order it. So realistically, I should have made the video a long freaking time ago. I didn't. If you're thinking like, hey, why did you buy that battery when you could have just have used the battery that you had? There's another tool that I don't think I've made a video on. I don't think I made a video on the fan. I don't remember if I made one on the blower or not. I love that blower. It works, unlike my Ridgid one. But the problem there, it eats batteries. Like, I love using it, but like it will drain one of these this is the biggest battery you can currently get for Hercules, the 5 amp-hour one. That blower, even on like low settings, the low setting does help significantly. Like, it's surprising what a difference it makes. You know, you usually think like, oh, it's not that big of a deal. It is, but it still just sucks the battery so fast. And that's why, like, I do not mind. That's why when I get the 3/8 one, I'm probably going to buy a battery for it as well, because the more 20-volt batteries I have, the better. The blower is great because, again, it works, unlike the Ridgid one, and it's just a deal where it goes so fast. So how did this do? You saw me run it. This was a brand new battery. We didn't do a ton with this by any stretch of the imagination, but did we maintain 4 bars? We sure did. Very cool. So if you did not know, one of the differences between the 20s and the 12s, the 20-volt batteries are going to have 3 bars, whereas the 12-volt, I'm sorry, the 20 volts will have 4, 12 volts will have 3. So that's all there is there. But, oh my lord, people, just let me live my life in peace, you know, messing around with tools, and I don't want to go do whatever countdown stuff you're doing. Like, I've got a countdown in here, so I better check that. My phone was at like 3% because, again, I thought I could charge it out here. I was mistaken. So I might run in and get the charging cable, come back out here, have some more fun of my own. My friends knew what was up. They would be here living the high life, but hey, to each their own. So you're probably not going to see this anytime close to New Year's Eve, but if you do, if you don't, I hope you had a fantastic New Year's Eve. I hope you have a great start to your 2022. And most importantly, whenever you do see this, it'll be the weekend, so I hope nothing else, you at least have a great weekend. So, with that said, if you have experience with this guy right here or the 3/8 drive impact, by all means tell people, leave a comment, whether you love it, whether you think it's a steal, whether you laugh in the face of your friends that spend tons of money on, like Home Depot and Lowe's brands, or buy the latest and the greatest. If you just say, my little $99 tool is superior, or just as good, or almost as good, and definitely worth the money I saved, leave a comment. If you bought this and it died in 2 days, tell people. If you bought this and it's good but not as good as something you've had in the past, leave a comment. Again, the end goal is to help people. I can only give you the bench impressions here, and I can tell you 100% this was awesome to have for changing my tires, and I'm probably going to use it again and again and again because I have a lot of tires that need to be changed. And then for everything else, the big perk for me here at the house, I can use this without having to fire up the compressor. I can use this without having to dangle an air hose. Like right now, when it's starting to get cold, it's still warm in here. Tomorrow, it's like hypothermia warnings. So if I was out here tomorrow and I fired up the air compressor, that air hose does not want to coil, and that makes it even worse than it usually is. So that's when this would be super awesome. So that's about all I've got. If you enjoyed the video, leave a like. If you really like what you see, I encourage you to subscribe. If you subscribe and jump your charger across the creek, YouTube just might notify you that we got new videos every Saturday, 9 a.m. Texas time. Sometimes we have automotive content or some miscellaneous stuff on Wednesdays. Just depends how much free time I have or don't have. And, with that said, Facebook, Twitter, Instagram, all three, you can find us at Lone Star Mopars. With that said, Happy New Year's Eve, Happy New Year's, most importantly, happy weekend. So if New Year's Eve didn't go well, if New Year's didn't start off like you wanted it to, hopefully this cheers you up, and hopefully the weekend that this comes out, you have a great one. So I'll leave it at that. Thanks so much for watching. I will catch you back here next Saturday for more action from the shop.